sin to fight for the right cause. I know how you feel, Gohan. You are gentle. You do not like to hurt. I know because I too have learned these feelings, but it is because you cherish life that you must protect it. Just let it go.
Got a few things that I want to discuss with you today. I'm going to start doing these, I want to call them discussions or commentary discussions. I guess that we could call it that. About 3 topics that I will pick periodically on what's going on in the world of sports, gaming, basically what the things that I guess that reach out to me that I just feel like I want to discuss. And if you guys are looking at the video, I'm playing some League of Legends in the background and basically just gonna play that in the background. I'm not gonna really commentate on what happens with this game. Just something for your entertainment to watch while I'm talking. And the first thing that we can go over is the NBA playoffs. To be honest, since Russell Westbrook, the league MVP, got eliminated, I haven't really been that much interested in the playoffs. They just don't seem that exciting to me, or just seem like something I would want to pick up and watch. And maybe that's a credit to how great the 2 powerhouse teams are and how it just seems so obvious how Golden State and Cleveland are just going to burn through their respective conference and end up in the finals anyway. So maybe I'm just saving myself for that, or maybe sometimes I just get busy and I kind of just want to do other things and watch something that's a little more interesting. But I would like to give Houston Rockets a lot of credit for taking game 1 last night. James Harden is he's awesome. I really like the way he's playing right now. Although I don't think that they would beat Golden State by a long shot. It's nice to see that Houston is actually experiencing some form of success in regards to winning in the playoffs. I think whether they win this series or lose it, I don't think that they should be too disappointed. They have a team, a great team around them that can kind of do something next year, maybe. Depending on how Golden State looks throughout the playoffs, I guess I would have to change my mind if I see them just starting to destroy teams like they've done the last 14 games that Kevin Durant didn't play before the playoffs started. So, but anyways, Houston, with me being from Texas, Houston Rockets being a prevalent team once again is something I will give them props about, even though I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan. But it's nice to see somebody other than Dallas and San Antonio be really good. So kudos to them, and I appreciate watching another Texas team be, I wouldn't say dominant, but they're really good. And they have a whole lot of shooters. They basically look like Golden State just with James Harden, and they wear red and black. So kudos to them. I really like how that's going. Now, on the Eastern Conference side, a lot of you, if you don't know me now, or if you don't follow me on Facebook or Twitter or whatever the case is, you don't know how big of a fan I am of Milwaukee. Giannis, I think, to be honest, is going to be, that rhymed a little bit. He's going to be the next best player in the league, in my opinion. If you haven't watched the Milwaukee Bucks and watched him play, he's only 22, mind you, so he's going to be the face of the NBA, I believe, after LeBron is done dominating and doing his thing. But they lost. I expected them to lose, but I was rooting for them to win against the Raptors. They gave them a run for their money, made them a little scared, but overall the better team in the NBA. If you don't watch it often, you'll notice that the better team always ends up winning, regardless of where what happens the first couple of games or whatever. The better team ends up finding their way and they win, and that is the reason why they have a series and not just a one-game wonder type of playoff. So Toronto won that, and I'm not surprised really, but they did get blown out last night by Cleveland, which I also expected because, I mean, as much of a fan I am of a lot of other people in the league, and I do have other favorite players other than Giannis and Russell Westbrook. LeBron wasn't really a lot of my friends call me a LeBron hater, but I'm not. I'm pretty objective about it. It's just when you kind of compare him to Mike, it's just that's when you kind of get me, and I'm like, no, he's not Mike, and in the multitude of ways, he's just not Michael Jordan yet. Do I think he can pass him? No. Do I think he can kind of have a similar legacy? Maybe. He would have to get a couple of more championships on his fingers in order to do that, in my opinion. But I would have to take time to give him props because right now he's doing it all, man. Like, his numbers are ridiculous. He's dominating in almost every statistical category, and it's almost like how I'm gonna use this analogy. I don't know whoever is listening to this will even know what it is, but Lil Wayne, the mixtape Wayne and the commercial BET making videos Lil Wayne, like, there's a huge difference between the two, and I'm not a fan of the commercial Wayne that wants to make videos for BET and does a million things with auto-tune. I'm not a fan of that. But the Lil Wayne on mixtapes, he's way different, and he shows his versatility as an artist as far as showing how good he is as a rapper. And I really like that, Lil Wayne. So basically, LeBron is like that. LeBron is like, okay, regular season, we're gonna coast because he knows what he's fighting for. He's been there, done that. This will be his 7th straight finals. So he knows what it takes to get there, and he's just basically coasting. A lot of people are like, oh, is LeBron falling off, or he's not as good as he used to be, or whatever the case is. That was the regular season, but since the playoffs, he's clearly been the best player every single game he's played. Like, the games aren't even close just because he's on the floor. Like, it makes no sense how great he is compared to everybody else that's currently playing. And that's including Kevin Durant, which, like I said, I was a big fan, and I actually thought Kevin Durant would be better than him by now. Which, as far as being efficient, I think Kevin Durant is better, but winning kind of conquers all, and LeBron just wins, and he's more available a lot more than Kevin Durant is at this point. And until what have we always said? It's in order to be the man, you got to beat the man. And with Kevin Durant going to Golden State, it just doesn't. It's gonna taint his legacy a bit. Even if he does beat LeBron, it's gonna be like, dude, you stacked your team. Just like we told LeBron that when he went to Miami, he stacked his team. So, you got to beat the man, and he hasn't beat LeBron yet. So, and until Kevin Durant does that and tries to take over as the best player in the league and stays available rather than getting hurt with these knick-knack injuries that he's been having over the past couple of seasons, I don't think that I still think that LeBron is the best player. He's still the reigning defending champion. He hasn't lost in the playoffs yet, and he hasn't been eliminated yet. So until you beat him, you can't say you're the best. And he's going to keep claiming he's the best until he gets beat. So that's just my take on that. And I think LeBron is doing an amazing job as far as being great for such a long time. I mean, he's been great for a very long time, and I've never took it for granted. It's just that I always put it in perspective on the situation that he's put himself in. I mean, I do still remember him stacking his team and everything like that, and I thought that was just a low blow move at one point when he did that, but that's just ancient history, and he's won after that, so I kind of just don't really hold that against him anymore. But let's just see what happens in this finals. And I think that if he does win this, he will be edging closer and closer to being greater. I wouldn't say greater, but just as good as Michael Jordan and having that legacy. Because all he does is win. He wins a lot of games, man, and it's crazy to say that. But I mean, LeBron just every team he goes to, they go to the playoffs or the finals almost every year. So, hats off to LeBron, and he's doing a really good job with winning and being the greatest basketball player in this generation. I would go ahead and say that at least. In this generation, in this era of basketball, he's the greatest. I haven't seen anybody surpass that. I also think Giannis will have a higher ceiling if he develops a jump shot, but that's it hasn't happened yet. So until then, LeBron is the best basketball player until he gets knocked off as the best basketball player. And do I see that coming anytime soon? I can't see it yet. He hasn't been hurt. He hasn't been, on a decline. I've watched him. He'll coast, and he hasn't seemed to have been worn out by what he's doing. So hats off to LeBron, man. I wish nothing but the best. So just keep at it. I'm pretty sure you're going to lose to Golden State. But, hey, if he beats Golden State, I'll be saying something different. But anyways, next topic. So have you guys even thought about Call of Duty in the past, 7 or 8 years, I want to say? The answer for me would be hell no. I've actually been off the Call of Duty bandwagon since 2000, I want to say 12. I think that's when 12 and 13, when Black Ops 2 was prominent. That was the last game I've actually bought. I've actually bought and played. I think I've bought the one after, but I never played it really. I didn't play Ghost that much. I don't think anybody did. I just really thought that it was just a bad game in general. Never really played it that much. So, but yeah, since Black Ops 2, I haven't really been on the bandwagon. But Call of Duty, man. They're going back to World War II. If you don't know yet, spoiler alert, Call of Duty is going to be World War II, which I'm pretty sure most of you guys have seen the trailer. And to me, it's about time, but at the same time, it's too late, dude. I just don't think that they're really going to make a huge comeback with this. I get it that they got a lot of people excited and a lot of people are liking the video on YouTube and everything. It's just, I think it's too late. I think it's really too late for Call of Duty to be that game that it was when Black Ops 2, even back when Modern Warfare 2 was out. It was probably the most played game online ever in history, because it was just so many people. And this is around the time where commentators started doing, YouTube for a living, because they were making so much. They were gaining so much of an audience on Call of Duty. It was ridiculous. Like, Call of Duty took over YouTube for a good 2.5 years with Modern Warfare 2. And not to mention the competitive scene. So, my opinion is I think they waited a little bit too late for Call of Duty World War II. Because nobody wanted, like we've been saying this for years, nobody wanted the super jetpack jumping Halo sitting in the 50 million sky. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Halo. Like, I've played every single Halo all the way up to 5. So, and I've had the every single Halo. So I like Halo, but let Halo stay. Halo has done it. We're used to Halo being Halo, so there's nothing really to complain about. But Call of Duty was perfect with just boots on the ground, no jetpacks, nice kill streaks. Like, we asked for simple stuff. Like, to be honest, if I ranked the best kill streaks that have ever come out in Call of Duty, I bet we can all name the same stuff. And that would be number 1, the nuke, if you got to 25 kills. The swarm, because that shit just looks scary once you get it. Like, it was hard to get. 2, I mean, that shit just looked menacing once it came down, and you were guaranteed at least 30 kills if you got that thing. Most likely if people didn't hide in buildings. Number 3, I would say the chopper gunner from Modern Warfare 2. And then, would I say the stealth bomber? No, the Blackbird would probably be more popular. I would say the Stealth Bomber for Modern Warfare 2, but I don't think it was as popular as the Chopper Gunner or the AC-130 and the Blackbird from Black Ops 2. I think will be a close tie. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's a perfect order for that. I just think that it's too little, too late, man. I don't see Call of Duty making a substantial comeback with dealing with the lack of audience that they have now and trying to galvanize the troops and bring them all back. I just don't see it happening. I mean, I'm pretty sure it would be a pretty fun game, but to me, I just don't think that they're gonna sell. They might sell a little bit and break a record from last year, obviously, because nobody's buying Infinite Warfare or anything like that. So it may work out that way, but to be honest, it won't resurrect Call of Duty at all. I don't think it will do it. If it does, hey, that'd be awesome. Bring everybody back, because half of my friends I met them on Call of Duty, believe it or not. Like, I didn't meet them. We met in real life, obviously, eventually, but we all met initially on Call of Duty on the servers, playing Team Deathmatch and Ground War and all that, and we built a clan. That's back in 2010 and 11, when clans were a thing to be a part of. Right now, it just doesn't seem as prevalent. But anyways, I don't think Call of Duty will make a comeback as far as bringing its old audience back. I just don't see it. With me now, I'm interested in, of course, League of Legends. I play that a lot now, and a couple of other games that I like to play. Some solo games. I still play some RPGs, but I want to get back into a shooter. I really do. I tried the Titanfall 2. I like it. It's just that if you don't have a couple of people, it's just like the first one. It's better than the second one, but I mean, it's better than the first one, but it's that same effect, man. It's like if you don't have a team to play with, it's just not as fun to play solo. Like Call of Duty back in the day, I used to just play that shit by myself and climb and meet people and kind of talk shit or whatever, and do that myself and just try to prestige. But I haven't done that with any other shooter since Call of Duty. I played Battlefield, and then I raced to kind of get in the top 10% in the world as far as my kills, my recon score, because that's all I really did in Battlefield, because that was the funnest thing to me, was recon score and rank and all that stuff. So I do that, and then I'll get kind of worn out with it. But as much as I love Battlefield, to be honest, it didn't gravitate me to it. The name itself didn't gravitate me towards playing it a lot like Call of Duty did. And I think that Call of Duty, if they would have kept the same MO from the jump and not started with this all futuristic, let's fly around the sky stuff, I still probably would be playing it to this day. But to be honest, it's just, I don't think now it's kind of too late. Like, I'll get it and just see what happens, but now that I'm strictly PC, it's just so much more to offer, so much more out there to play, that I don't know if I'm gonna grab it and just be so much addicted to it like I used to in Modern Warfare 2. So, I mean, I would hope to do that, but I just don't think that'll happen. So, I guess we'll see, though. I mean, hopefully Call of Duty does well. I hope it does. I think I'm going to end up playing it. I guess I'll give a review on it once I can. But I don't think it's going to make a huge comeback. I don't see it. Anyways. Next subject. Let's go with this bothered me. I mean, I don't know if you guys watched the draft, but I'm not going to go too much into this. This is towards the end of the video, so I'm not going to go too much into this, but Mitchell Trubisky, I hope I'm not butchering his name, but 13 games and he gets drafted in the NFL before Deshaun Kaiser, Deshaun Watson, the national champion that he is. I mean, I'm not saying that Deshaun Watson didn't go to a great team, because obviously he went to a team that is ready to win now. I don't know if he would be able to stand up to the pressure, but hopefully he can. Hopefully he has a great career. But I wouldn't wish Chicago on my worst enemy. So Chicago right now is very dysfunctional, and I just wouldn't wish him on my worst enemy. But to play, if this guy, to be honest, I hate to bring up race, but I think it's just the truth. If this guy was black, he would have not gotten picked. They would have told him he needs to have more of a developmental phase, like a couple of more years to get some more work on him. I just don't think it's going to work out, but that's just my rant about it. If it was anybody else, he wouldn't have done it. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.